Hello students, welcome to this video lecture on scattering in laboratory and center of mass frames. Quantum scattering refers to the interaction of an incident beam of particles with a fixed target. The incident beam width is much larger than a typical range of a scattering potential, so the particle has well-defined momentum. Let the scattered particle be detected within solid angle d omega along the direction theta phi. Scattering cross-section is defined as the number of particles scattered per second into solid angle d omega at angle theta phi to the incident flux, and this is equal to capital I function of theta phi into d omega. D sigma upon d omega is the differential scattering cross section, and its integral over the solid angle theta ranging from 0 to pi and phi ranging from 0 to 2 pi is called total scattering cross section. Now the relation between scattering cross sections in laboratory and center of mass frames. In laboratory frame, the target is taken as stationary, and in center of mass frame, center of mass is stationary. Center of mass frame is also known as zero momentum frame. Let in lab frame the position vectors of the two particles be vector r1 and vector r2 respectively. In center of mass frame, its center of mass frame, center coordinate of center of mass is given by mr1 plus mr2 upon m1 plus m2, and relative position vector r relative, which is taken as equal to vector r is equal to r1 minus r2 in vector form. Differentiating this with respect to time, we get relative velocity vector v1 minus v2, which may be taken equal to r1 dot minus r2 dot equal to vector p upon reduced mass p, or p1 upon m1 minus p2 vector upon m2, and p center of mass is equal to vector p1 plus vector p2. Diagrams of the particles, incident particle and scattered have been shown here in lab frame and center of mass frame respectively. In lab frame, the target having mass m2 is initially stationary, and the projectile having mass m1 is coming with initial velocity v1 naught. After scattering, the particle 1 goes at an angle theta lab, and the target recoils at angle theta 2. In center of mass frame, since the center of mass is having zero momentum, particle 1 has momentum p1 naught initially, which is equal and opposite to the initial momentum p2 naught of the second particle. And in center of mass frame, position vector and momentum vector both have been shown with a prime. After scattering, particle p1 prime vector and second particle's momentum p2 prime, they are equal and opposite again. In lab frame, the particle 1, which is projectile, will have initial momentum m1 v1 naught, whereas particle 2, target particle, will have initial momentum 0, because initially it was stationary. After scattering, particle 1 has momentum m1 v1, making angle theta lab with initial momentum direction, whereas particle 2 recoils with momentum m2 v2 at angle theta 2 with respect to initial momentum direction. Let's denote momentum and position vectors in the center of mass frame with the prime. In the center of mass system, initial momentum of particle 2 is equal and opposite to that of particle 1. Similarly, for the final momentum, p2 prime is equal to minus p1 prime. For point masses, scattering process is elastic, leading to mod p1 prime equal to mod p1 naught prime. The final momentum vector in the center of mass system has same magnitude as the initial momentum vector, but makes angle theta related to the initial momentum direction. We have the transformation r1 equal to r1 plus r1 prime plus r center of mass. And differentiating this, we shall have r1 dot equal to r1 prime dot plus rcm dot, which may be written as v1 equal to v1 prime plus rcm dot. And putting the value of position vector of center of mass, we get it equal to v1 prime plus m1 v1 plus m2 v2 upon m1 plus m2. And v1 prime from here can be put equal to m2 upon m1 plus m2 multiplied by v1 vector minus v2 vector. We get this after transposition. Or p1 prime, which is equal to m1 v1 prime, this may be put equal to reduced mass mu multiplied by vector v1 minus vector v2. And the first expression v1 equal to v1 prime plus rcm as shown here in this vector diagram. Using v2 naught equal to 0, means taking target initially stationary, we have p1 naught prime equal to mu v1 naught. Because p1 prime inside modulus is equal to mod p1 naught prime, we have mod v1 minus v2 equal to mod v1 naught. Now since from the diagram shown we have tan theta lab equal to v1 prime sin theta upon v1 cos theta plus rcm dot. This may be after putting the value of rcm dot, this may be put equal to sin theta upon cos theta plus m1 upon m2, where we have used rcm dot upon v1 prime equal to m1 v1 naught upon m1 plus m2 multiplied by m1 plus m2 upon m2 v1 vector minus v2 vector inside modulus, and this giving equal to m1 upon m2. Now the number of particles per second going into the detector as seen by the observers in the laboratory or the center of mass system is one and the same number. Therefore d sigma is equal to I lab function of theta lab, phi lab, sin theta lab, d theta lab, d phi lab equal to I function of theta phi, sin theta, d theta, d phi. So the differential cross section as seen in lab and center of mass frames are: in lab frame d sigma upon d omega lab is equal to capital I lab function of theta lab, phi lab, and in center of mass frame d sigma upon d omega cm is equal to I function of theta and phi. They are related by d sigma upon d omega lab equal to d sigma upon dm center of mass multiplied by sin theta d theta upon sin theta lab d theta lab, which is equal to d sigma upon d omega cm d of cos theta upon d of cos theta lab, with cos theta lab equal to cos theta plus m1 upon m2 upon under root 1 upon m1 square plus m2 square plus 2 m1 upon m2 cos theta, and this is obviously seen in the diagram. We have used three references, that of H. Griffith and Eli Schiff. Thank you.